Because, seriously, defund the police, right? You hear these radicals calling for it, not even knowing what the hell's going to happen. Well, look what's about to happen. A Washington school board, after defunding their police, votes to remove cops from schools, saying police are a real risk. You know, the SROs, right? The school resource officers. I know, Dylan. Taking them from the schools. Why were they put in there in the first place, right? To protect from shootings, and, right?
Yeah.
Well, members of the Washington State's Edmonds School Board, Edmonds, they voted unanimously, okay, to end contracts with law enforcement agencies, thereby removing police presence from 3 schools in the district, deeming officers a real risk to students.
Huh.
You're crazy over there on the West Coast. You guys know that? You're crazy. Then, Oakland. You know, Oakland, California, right? They lose their Raiders, and now they're losing their mind. Their Raiders went to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
I think Raiders fans never really had their minds on, but that's just me.
The Oakland Raiders. No, sorry. The Oakland Unified School District abolished its own police force at a school board meeting Wednesday night, bowing to the wishes of radical left-wing activists and the Black Lives Matter movement that we talked about earlier this week when we went over who was actually funding the Black Lives Matter movement and how they hijacked an actual true meaning of a movement. Trained Marxist, said one of the co-founders of that movement. But yeah. All right, defunding the police, obviously. This is one of the problems of it is no more school resource officers. Dylan, what do you think about that? Removing this, having no school resource officers at schools.
It wasn't always a thing growing up. I mean,
We didn't have them at my school.
Yeah, it became a thing. I think after 9/11, it started to come into focus a little bit more. Of those school shootings, and man, that's tough. I never had a bad conversation with the guy at my school. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like somebody that works in a school as a police officer, they know they're working with kids. I don't personally see how it could be a harm to the kids, except for the ones that are doing bad stuff that might have their futures harmed because a cop caught them with drugs in their locker or something. But I don't know.
That's interesting that you bring that up.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we were reading a bunch of these stories during the school year when school was open, right? And because, you know, the school was with the COVID stuff, they shut down the schools and everything. You know what they did with all the school resource officers when the schools were shut down?
What they do?
Here in Clarksville? They put them on patrol downtown. So there was this huge downtown presence of cops, and everyone's like, what's going on? Are they doing it because they want to see if any businesses are letting anyone in? No, they had nowhere to put the school resource officers.
Yeah, so you keep them employed.
And I was talking to them all the time, too. You know what their biggest thing when they were walking around downtown?
What was that?
Their step count. Jerry, how many today? Hey, two, Padula, 2 miles. And that was good for Jerry, you know what I mean? But, Bay, okay, like I was saying, we were doing these where the handguns were always in the headlining news for what these kids were bringing into the schools.
Yeah.
Does this feel that the bad kids can now start getting away with more bad stuff?
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Why?
It's going to happen. No cop present.
Okay.
So they're going to be like, oh, we can do anything now.
Now, what if it's an authority presence? What if they replace it with just like a teacher standing there? Is there a difference with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
Always a difference.
What's the difference?
Because it's a teacher.
And
not a police officer.
Right.
That can arrest you.
Yeah, the teachers can't even spank you. Right.
They can't really touch. They can't even touch you, really.
Right.
And which I think is crazy.
And then what if they want to call the police?
I don't know.
Now, you know what I mean?
How that going to work?
Intern Shane, you're a kid, right? You're young.
He's
I'm
23.
Sorry. Right.
He's 23.
I know.
He's a young adult.
I'm a kid at heart.
Yes, that's right. When you were in school, you had school resource officers?
Like elementary school or high school?
Whatever.
Well, Elementary school, I don't believe we had, but I do know that in high school we did.
Okay, good. Then that's the focus we're looking on. Okay, so when you were in high school and you had school resource officers, did you see it as a problem, or was it good to have them there?
It was good to have them there.
Why so?
There wasn't really anything like the school that I went to was Rossview High, and nothing really bad happened there. We never really had any problems with other students or anything, but like times where things would get intense, like say hallway fights or like something worse or so. They always made sure that we were safe.
The school resource officers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like they would always take precaution. They would always like stick around, make sure that everybody's safe, and make sure that whatever problems there are gets handled quickly.
Well, there you go. Defunding the police. We're finally realizing and seeing the results of what happens when you defund the police. It goes besides the point. Like, look at Los Angeles is crazy right now. Did you see their murder percentage rate? It went up 250%. That's not a lie number. That's not an exaggeration. 250% increase in murders in Los Angeles. New York has doubled its murders from last year already.
Desperate people do desperate things, Joe.
So now you're screwing the kids over because you want to have a movement. A movement started by, get this stat, because I'm a stat guy, I'm a number guy, by 1% of the population.